Hello, I'm John Hemingway. Welcome back to Shropshire. Now, we're not doing flock health today. I thought we've rattled through a fair variety of topics over the last 6 months, and it was time that we did something that was just out of interest. So if you are of a curious disposition, join me as we head to a little Shropshire village called Harley. Now, perhaps the first record we have of an improved sheep breed being attempted here in Shropshire was in 1803, when Joseph Plymley, the Archdeacon of Shropshire, described the Long Min sheep, which was a black-faced, horned, nimble and hardy sheep, and he commented that local farmers thought the best advantage that could be derived by the import of foreign stock was to cross the Long Min sheep with the South Down to produce a sheep that was as hardy as the Long Min sheep, but with a much improved carcass. Now, it wasn't just the Long Min sheep that was native to this sort of area at the turn of the 19th century. We have other breeds described as well. The Morph sheep from Morph Common over near Bridgenorth was a horned grey or speckled faced sheep with an open fleece. We also have the Cannock Heath sheep. That was another grey faced sheep, small frame but with a superior wool quality apparently, and that is what brings us here to Harley. Now, Harley was the home of the farming Aidney family, and George Aidney was one of two Victorian farmers generally credited with having pioneered the development of the Shropshire breed. Aidney collected native breeds from around this area, and he selectively bred them to create an improved ewe. Meanwhile, his contemporary, Samuel Meyer, was going about it a different way. He brought in South Downs to cross onto native sheep to improve the breed, create the same sort of thing. They converged on an improved lowland sheep. And in 1845, at the newly founded Shropshire Show, for the first time ever, a sheep described as a Shropshire was put on show. Now, these Shropshire sheep did not look like the Shropshire sheep of today, and some of the contemporary descriptions of them are less than flattering. But Meyer didn't mind. He said there is no attempt to deny that the Shropshire is a crossbred sheep. The original sheep was horned, and the first attempt at improvement was to remove these encumbrances, duly achieved by crossing with the South Down. Now, things must have continued to improve, because in 1857 the Royal Agricultural Society gave a much more complimentary description of the breed. But it was in 1859 that things really changed. George Aidney had been holding sheep sales from his place in Harley since 1851, but in 1859 there was a huge sale. 800 buyers from as far afield as Australia came, and rams were sold for as much as 95 guineas. In 1860, the RAS recognised the breed officially, and it was given its own category at agricultural shows. In 1883, the Breed Society had formed, and they opened the first official pedigree flock book in the world, which listed reputable breeders of Shropshires. And by 1884, of the 1,300 sheep shown at the Shropshire Show, almost 900 were Shropshires. Now, the spectacle of Aidney's sale in 1859 had sparked a boom of overseas demand for the Shropshire sheep. By the end of the 19th century, the country was exporting hundreds of rams all around the world. Australians were putting them onto merinos. They were the most popular sheep in America. And by 1911, it's thought that the Shropshire was the most popular sheep on the planet. Now, tragically, what followed was the First World War. Obviously, this put embargoes on international trade. We also had the plough-up policy in this country, which meant that good livestock land was dug up to plant cereals. Following the war, there was the 1922 foot and mouth outbreak, which dragged on into the 30s and put a complete stop on much of the international trade that was needed to sustain the industry. The Shropshire breed remained popular in America, but following the Second World War, the breed standard had drifted away from the attributes that had made it so popular as a commercial proposition. They were a smaller animal now with more wool on their heads, and some suffered from wool blindness. By the time we get to 1973, there are only about 400 registered Shropshire sheep left in the world. So in the 70s, it was not looking good for the Shropshire, but a concerted effort went in from the Breed Society and the Rare Breeds Survival Trust to make sure that the Shropshire survived. In the 1990s, it was discovered that Shropshires could be grazed amongst conifer trees without doing any damage to the bark of the trunks, which made them an ideal niche proposition for Christmas tree operations. In 2013, they were officially taken off the Rare Breeds Register, and today there's around 4,000 individual Shropshire sheep registered in this country. So there you have it. And next time you're at an agricultural show and you see a Shropshire on show, you can say to the person next to you, "Did you know that used to be the most popular sheep on the planet?"